Hello, I'm Corinna, Harrod, makeup artist and facial skincare therapist. I thought I would do a follow-on video. A couple of weeks ago I did one on the differences between physical and chemical sunscreen, and in that I talk a lot about UVA and UVB, so I thought I would talk about the differences between UVA and UVB today. So UVA, I always remember this by thinking of the A standing for aging. These are long wave UV rays that penetrate deep into the dermis of the skin. So the epidermis is on the top, dermis is underneath. So that it penetrates deep into the skin, causes loads of damage to different things, including your collagen, your elastin, the hemidesmosomes and corneodesmosomes that hold your skin, your epidermis onto your dermis and your skin cells together. They get damaged, and it can cause wrinkles, pigmentation, DNA damage, all the nastiness. So 95% of UV rays that hit the earth are UVA, and the levels are the same all the year round. So obviously in the summer we think about, oh, we need to wear sunscreen because we're going to burn, and you don't necessarily think of that during the winter, but actually the UVA levels are the same all year round, whatever the weather. So the cloudiest day in December in the UK is going to be same UVA levels as the hottest day in summer. UVA can penetrate glass as well. So if, like me, I've got my desk in front of a window, you will want to wear a sunscreen because it can penetrate the glass. Maybe you've seen, there's a very famous picture of a long distance lorry driver who has one side of his face incredibly wrinkled and the other side less so. That is showing UVA damage which has come in through his window. UVA can suppress the immune system throughout the body. It can do loads of technical stuff to the skin that encourages cell degradation too early and breakdown of elastin and collagen earlier than it needs to be. It can contribute to tanning, but only in a tiny little bit. And the problem with UVA damage is you won't see it today, you won't see it tomorrow, you'll see it on your skin in 10 years' time. So if you're going on sunbeds all the time now, and you're in your 30s, in your 50s, you're going to be noticing all that damage. And so that's one of the reasons why UVA is such a tricky thing. You're just not, if you're getting tons and tons of UVA damage, you're just not going to see it on your skin until much later with wrinkles, pigmentation, loss of skin adhesion, etc. So UVB, I think of the B as standing for burning. These are the shorter rays, so shorter UV rays, and they're going to penetrate mostly into the epidermis, the top layer of the skin, and it is weather dependent and time of year dependent. So in the UK, where I am, I'm in London, a lot of us get seasonal affective disorder. You get low vitamin D levels because during the winter months, UVB doesn't hit us in the same way, and we get low vitamin D levels. So that really is dependent on the time of year. It doesn't penetrate glass, but it plays a big part in the development of skin cancers. It can cause cell mutation and death. It can break down collagen and elastin as UVA, but just not as badly. You do notice it when you burn. That is UVB that's doing the damage, and you really do notice it then because it's painful. But if you get burnt, that doesn't just go away as your skin heals. That can cause lasting DNA damage to your skin cells, and that can develop into skin cancer even if it was a burn from 15 years ago. If it was bad enough, definitely worth keeping an eye on it and constantly getting it checked. But there is a good thing about UVB, and UVB, as I said earlier, is vital to the synthesis of vitamin D. We don't make vitamin D ourselves. We can store it in the body a certain amount, but we don't create it ourselves. We need vitamin D. We need UVB to do that for us. The average adult needs between 10 and 20 minutes of UVB absorption a day. That can be any part of the skin. So I tend to, it's going to sound eccentric, because I put my sunscreen on my face and my chest, I tend to take my socks off and have a cup of coffee in the sun, and that will help my body get its vitamin D levels in. It can be any patch of skin, any time of day, ideally therefore before the sun gets too high and it gets too hot and you start burning. Hopefully that's given you an insight into the differences between UVA, A for aging, and UVB, B for burning, and just the main differences between them and why I think it's so important to wear a good physical sunscreen on your exposed bits of skin all year round. I definitely, if you've got any vitamin D issues, anything like that, do speak to your GP. I don't want anyone getting horrible vitamin D deficiencies, but safety in the sun is really important all year round. And like I just said, safety in the sun. Safety in UV is vital all year round. Also, just a quick note, SPF usually refers to UVB protection because UVA is relatively new in our knowledge of sunscreen and sun protection and things. So what you're looking for ideally is a physical sunscreen, which will give you equal UVA and UVB protection, but something that says broad spectrum. Broad spectrum means it covers both. SPF is very specific to UVB protection. I hope that's been helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.